Welcome to Trial Costa Rica. I'm your host, Adam Baker. This is your weekly video series that looks at everything from travel, relocation, inspiration, and living in Costa Rica, so know before you go. This week is a little different. I wanted to take the time out to speak a little bit about my own personal experience of living here in Costa Rica and give you some of the highlights from the past 2 months of interviews I've done with friends, colleagues, and other expats that have been living here for many years in Costa Rica. I myself have been here for over 15 years now in Costa Rica. I've lived in the rural community up in Costa Rica's cloud forest of Monteverde. I've lived in one of the smaller towns here in the Central Valley, and now I'm based just outside San Jose, so I have all the amenities of the capital city. So I know a thing or two as well about living in the country. I've heard some great tips in the past few weeks over the past episodes. You can check them out. And I wanted to give you my tips and talk to some of those best pointers as well to help you relocate to Costa Rica if you're thinking about coming down here and trying Costa Rica out for a little bit of living by the sea or the mountains or the volcanoes or wherever it may be. So let's get stuck into some of those top tips. One of my personal things that I've always thought about and would recommend, as has many people, is guys, if you can come down to Costa Rica for a bit longer, an extended stay before you think about making the big move, do so. If you're coming in on a tourist visa, remember you get it stamped up to 90 days upon arrival. As long as you have proof of exit on those 90 days, you can stay in Costa Rica for a lot longer. Stay for a month or 2 months if you're able to. Of course, it varies depending on whether you're a solo traveler, coming as a couple, or perhaps you're thinking about your family looking to relocate to Costa Rica. But stay in the country for longer. Try and immerse yourself in the culture a bit more. Travel the country. Where do you want to stay? Are you looking for the city life? Are you looking for all the amenities? Or are you looking to be off the beaten path? A bit more of a rural experience? Or like many, of course, by the beach. Perhaps the beaches up in Guanacaste in the northern region, Tamarindo, Flamingo, you've got Papagayo beaches, you've got Playa Hermosa, all very beautiful communities. The Central Pacific is popular, the beaches of Jaco, Manuel Antonio, even further south to Dominical and Avita. Of course, many expats live here in the Central Valley around San Jose, Santa Ana, Escazú. There's so many choices, and of course it depends entirely on what you guys are looking for as well. So bear that in mind, and if you can stay longer, do so. The digital nomad visa is coming out very, very soon. It's passing law here in Costa Rica. By the time you're watching this video, it might have already done so. This would enable you to stay up to 6 months, perhaps even a year, to work and live here in Costa Rica. So really do travel around if you can. Figure out what you're looking for. What kind of amenities, what kind of lifestyle do you want? If you have any questions for us, of course, ask me, and I can give you my different opinion. And of course, all of us here at Costa Rican Vacations can do so as well. Get to know the country, get to know the people, get to know the lifestyle of what you can expect. It's probably going to differ massively. Let's talk to the costs of living in Costa Rica. Your expectations might be similar, they might be lower. Always going in with lower expectations and having them surpassed when you come down is the best way forward. But Costa Rica isn't necessarily as cheap as you might think. The rental costs vary massively. It depends again, how big a property are you looking to rent for? 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, a villa, a house, a condo. That obviously varies massively, as does where you're looking to rent and what amenities you're looking for. You can find places as low as $500 US a month, all the way up to $2,500 a month if you're looking for a much bigger place. Perhaps you have a larger family, then you're going to need more rooms. Do you need AC? How big is your electricity bill going to be? That varies from $50 in the Central Valley up to $100, $150 in some of the hotter regions in the north of the country. Your internet provider could be as little as $20, it could go up to $60. How many megabytes do you need uploaded? How big is your family, for example? So check with the internet provider options. This goes for everything else as well. Driving in Costa Rica, using domestic transport is very cheap, but of course it takes a little bit longer. If you want to get around, you can also fly if you're going to travel between areas. That's a little bit more expensive. You can rent a car as well. If you're looking to purchase a car, if you are staying here for longer, bear in mind the import taxes for that car will be a lot higher as well. So that's some of the cost of living. The other big one, of course, is food shopping, grocery shopping. If you're looking to go to some of the higher end superstores, supermarkets, or grocery stores, expect to spend perhaps even more than you would do back in the US, back in Canada, back in Britain, or wherever you're watching this from. Especially if you're looking to get those imported treats or some of those imported things that you missed from home. They do have a higher cost in Costa Rica. If you're looking to go to some of the mid-level supermarkets, not too much of a problem. And if you're willing to live a bit more like a local, you can take advantage of the green farmers markets, where you'll spend a lot less, save a lot of money, and get amazing fruits, vegetables, cheeses. You can find all sorts, and you usually find farmers markets available 1 or 2 times a week, depending where you live, and that will bring your costs down a lot. And you'll be cooking amazingly fresh, most of the time organic meals. And your fruit and vegetable intake will be a lot higher in Costa Rica, and of course the fruit tastes so much sweeter down here. But do bear in mind, sometimes, depending on where you're shopping, groceries can cost a little bit more, and Costa Rica isn't quite as cheap as you may think. If you are coming down on a budget and you're going, Adam, I want a budget, what's the average monthly spend? Again, it depends entirely on you, your circumstance, where you want to live, and how you want to live in the country. But if you're working with $1,500 to $2,500, you're going to be just fine. Some people live on even less, $1,000 a month. Some people need to spend up in $3,000, $4,000 a month if you have a larger family and your outgoings are that bit more. But I always say, if you're coming down and you've got $1,500, $2,000 a month to live on, you're going to be just fine pretty much anywhere over the country. Another tip that I like to think is, when you're down here, practice your Spanish, but expect to get by in English. The amount of tourism in Costa Rica is phenomenal. Loads of people speak English, but of course if you practice a few Spanish words, your Spanish ability will get better. The local ticos will appreciate it even more, and they probably will understand your English just as well. So don't feel like you have to speak Spanish. Don't even think that that should be a reason for you not to come down here, because you will be just fine all over the country. Along with those expectations of rental costs, the ability to speak English just about everywhere, really try and embrace the Pura Vida lifestyle and be prepared to be slightly patient. Costa Rica, some things can take a little bit longer. Public services, getting your internet banking sorted out, getting a phone line. These things may take a little bit longer. So just be prepared to be patient. One of my most difficult experiences over 15 years ago, when I was coming down for the first couple of years, I struggled with the patience. In my early 20s, I was living here and I had to learn, nothing happens on time every time in Costa Rica. It's part of the process. The Pura Vida lifestyle, the vibes of Pura Vida, pure life, mean that you can come down and it will get done. It will be okay. Everything's chilled out. So you take some and you understand and you kind of balance it up. But yeah, living in Costa Rica is very relaxed. It's very enjoyable. There's just some things you will have to be prepared for, and of course are not quite the same probably as the country you're coming from. So embrace Pura Vida. Enjoy the nature. Get out. Travel. Costa Rica is quite a small country. You can visit just about everywhere inside a day. Again, in terms of patience, be prepared. It takes a bit longer sometimes to get around. The roads are not perfect. They're certainly getting better. It's famous in Costa Rica, but it's part of the experience. And as I say, if you come down and you live a little bit longer, 1 or 2 month visit before trying to make that jump, you'll find that you have an even better experience as well. That was the other camera clicking off as well, so now we're back to the main camera. Anyway, I hope you guys found those tips really helpful. If you have any questions for me, let us know in the comments box below. And as ever, don't forget to subscribe to never miss out on a weekly video regarding everything Costa Rica related. So for Trial Costa Rica, I'm Adam Baker, and I'll see you guys next week. Ciao for now.